I feel extremely blessed to be up here. I don't think I'm in the light, but that's okay. That's kind of, wrestlers stay in the shadows most of the time, as he kind of talked to you before. But before I start, I just want to thank you all for coming. And honestly, I really want to thank you for being here on a Saturday night. There's a lot of other things we could be doing. For caring enough about your future and the future of your family to take a night out. A couple things I was thinking about when I was sitting there, and you heard people talking about Dr. Mike. I just want to let you know real quick, Dr. Mike doesn't care about making money. Okay, this isn't, he made a joke or something about a plan or something. I don't know where you guys are at with your understanding of health and how the body works. I can tell you that I'm a professional athlete and I'm an Olympic athlete at the world-class level, and I didn't have very much idea with how my body was working on the inside. But I just want to let you know that Dr. Mike cares, it truly cares about you. I mean, there's reasons why I would fly 20-some hours yesterday to come up here and talk, outside of I love his family, and Colleen's an excellent cook. Honestly, he really genuinely cares about you. His heart, I was getting goosebumps at those. How can you ignore those testimonies? So I've written some things down just to kind of keep me on track because I only have a short amount of time. And I want to share with you the most truth that I've learned in my life. I just want you to know that I'm just going to tell you a part of my story. Simply that, which I can only share from a place of complete honesty and love. That's the only way I know how. I do not know most of you, but I care enough about you to tell you the truth, and it's the truth you will not hear very many places, if anywhere else, outside of an office like Dr. Mike's. I'll just start by telling you an overview of my medical history. In high school, I broke my back. In high school. I loved football, first of all. I wanted to let you guys know American football was my favorite sport by far. I was a first-team All-State running back in high school, and I wanted to play football for The Ohio State University, the biggest university in America. And I actually got a chance to play in front of about 50, 60,000 people, one play. But instead of being able to chase that dream, I had 4 knee surgeries in 3 years at Ohio State. And I also had a full ride scholarship in wrestling, and God really kept me in the sport of wrestling. I much rather have played football. I will admit that to you because I loved it a lot more. It was way easier, way more fun. 4 knee surgeries in 3 years. Who in here has had a knee issue? Any knee problems, knee pain? Okay. I've also torn both my shoulder labrums in my shoulders, and have been told for many years I need to get shoulder surgery, get those medically repaired. But I put that off for a little while, and recently, I'll hit that a little bit later, but who's had shoulder issues in here? Just by a show of hands. I just want to get a gauge in the room. I've torn cartilage in my chest and cartilage in my ribs numerous times. Almost broke my neck wrestling in Azerbaijan. Most of you probably haven't even heard of that country. But wrestling really sends you to the greatest places in the world. Wrestling thrives where there's not very many cool things going on. Anybody have neck issues in here? Neck problems, a lot of hands. After all those injuries, those are just the major ones, by the way. I still managed to rehab my way back to the #1 spot in the country. Made Team USA in 2010, and like Dr. Mike said, I was the Wrestler of the Year that year. I was top 10 in the world at the World Championships in Moscow. And things were going pretty well. I was undefeated domestically for about a year and a half. I had beaten a guy named Jake Varner. Most of you probably haven't heard of him because our sport's not popular. Just remember that name. I had beaten him 4 times handily. In 2011, I was wrestling in Iran, and I was kind of frustrated with how my results were coming. I wasn't really getting the gold medals that I wanted to bring home. And I went over to Belarus, and I was wrestling against a Russian, and I landed out of bounds really hard on my hip. I didn't know it at the time, but I tore a disc in my back. And the disc didn't herniate, it tore, and it was bleeding on my spinal cord. I didn't know this at the time. I put ice on it thinking that would help. How uncomfortable is flying just, without a torn disc and you're disc bleeding on your spinal cord. How uncomfortable is flying, you know? And I had about over 30 hours of travel to get back to the United States, and then 3 more weeks of pain, severe pain, that I wasn't allowed to take the epidural, by the way. And in hindsight, I'm glad I wasn't, but because of the rules, the legality, and anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm trying not to do that tonight because I got a lot to share with you guys. I got back to rehab again, and I wasn't near healthy enough to make the USA team in 2011. But I was a training partner in Turkey. The World Championships in 2011 were in Turkey, Istanbul, and I was a training partner for my best friend who's the Olympic heavyweight. He's 270 pounds of a teddy bear. He's a freak show. He's 270 pounds, can do a backflip. He's an awesome athlete. I hope you guys get to see him on TV. Hope they were both on the Olympic team 2016. But I was there with him, and I had severe pain in my left knee. Severe pain. And I was thinking about retiring just because the knee pain, and I wasn't training really, I was a training partner. I was just there when he needed me. I wasn't there for myself. I didn't make the team, unfortunately. I had hurt my back. And my back was getting better slowly, and I had to take big steps with my back to kind of get that a little better, but it was still bothering me here and there. I couldn't sit for very long at all. I couldn't stand or sit for more than 5 or 10 minutes without moving, changing position. But I was strongly thinking of retiring when I was there in Turkey, and that was because of knee pain. So when I got back, there's this program you guys haven't heard about, but it's called Disc Sport and Spine. It's in Los Angeles, and some of the best doctors in our whole country, some of the best doctors in the world, Dr. Bray is one of them. He actually invented the microscope that they use for microdiscectomies, disc surgeries for the back. He owns this facility, and he gives free care to Olympic athletes. If you're high enough on your ladder, he gives you free care. Well, I was able to go out there to Los Angeles, and this is after I had been in, this is just in 2 months. I'd been in Colorado Springs, Olympic Training Center, Nebraska for a wrestling camp, back to Colorado Springs. I was in training in Belarus, and then I was in Istanbul, Turkey, then I flew out to LA. This is in 2 months. And just to let you know, for the sake of the story, in the beginning of that 2-month period, on my way up to Colorado Springs, I had left my Bible in the back of an airplane seat on accident, and no one returned it to me. I hope they're using it. And that plays an important part because when I was there, they gave me a 3-hour diagnostic test. 3 hours going over my whole body. I got X-rays and MRIs, which are very, very normal for me. I think that I've had more X-rays and MRIs and have been in more doctors' offices than anybody that I know, especially anyone I know my age. And after that, they said, yeah, you have grade 3 arthritis in your left knee, and you should probably get that cleaned up. There might be some cartilage in there to take out. You know, that would be my 5th knee surgery. And then they said, what caught me really off guard, I went there for knee pain. But at the end, I actually got to meet Dr. Bray. He owns the facility. He actually did back surgery on Lolo Jones, the Olympic hurdler, the really pretty Christian hurdler. If anybody knows her, let her know that I mentioned her in my talk or something. Okay. Dr. Bray did the surgery on her and a lot of other Olympic athletes successfully. Dr. Bray said that after the nerve study they did on my right leg, that I had 50% nerve damage in my right leg, and that if I don't get surgery, if I don't get a discectomy, that I won't be able to walk the next summer. Let alone, this is the year, this is 2011, the fall 2011. I'm training for the Olympics. I want to give it one more shot to make the Olympic team. I've trained for 17, 18 years to make the Olympic team. I'm the best guy. I just need to get healthy again. So you know what I thought? He said that I didn't have a choice. Usually there's a choice, but he said if I was his son, he would say, this is the facts. I don't have any other option. I have to get this surgery because the nerve damage, it's like I have a 20-some-year-old leg here, and I have like a 70, 80-year-old leg over here because of the nerve damage being done. So I was 95% sure that I called Dr. Mike. I was 95% sure that I had to get this surgery. And let's do it. Let's get the surgery. I'll do the rehab. Let's go. Like I said, when I have a goal, let's get the rehab. I can rehab it and maybe still make the Olympic trials and make the Olympic team. Well, when I got back to Columbus, Ohio, I don't have time to tell you everything that happened, but I mean, I could just say this, the first time in a few months I opened up the Bible and I actually prayed and I was trying to seek direction. Do I really need this? Do I need this? Do I need to get back surgery? Do I need to get my, my fifth and sixth surgery to keep training? And basically what I did, I got more serious about Maximize Living 5 Essentials, and that starts with Maximize Mind, by the way. Maximize mind, how we think. Our minds are so powerful. I'm getting off track here, but just to talk about Maximize Mind, when I was in college, I would lose matches because I put pressure on myself and my legs would stop working, like they would get really heavy. And I felt like, it looked like I was out of shape, but I wasn't out of shape. But my mind, I was scared to lose. Ironically, that causes you to lose. Something else I just recently found out, there was a study done where there was a woman that they gave a placebo chemotherapy to. That sounds very mean to do that, but they gave her a placebo chemotherapy. Was just, it was not chemo. All of her hair fell out because she thought it was. It's very important what we think, how we think. There's a lot of truth being shared in Dr. Mike's office that you do not hear other places. And I'll also tell you this, there's a lot of lies out there. And what's sad and scary is most people don't even know they're lying. So, let me get it back here. I just want you guys to know that when I heard that news about this back surgery I needed, I totally understand where people are coming from. I totally understand the standard that's out there. I know the pressure to conform to the medical model, and I know how much trust there is in the medical system. And let me say this too. I have a lot of friends that are doctors, nurses, and physical therapists. I am not angry at them. I am not mad at them. It's not us versus them. It's not chiropractic versus them, even though they make it that way a lot of times. They don't even have respect for chiropractors half the time. And that snaps me because I'm a professional, and in my professional opinion, that I actually happen to know is fact and truth. I would go to Dr. Mike and a Maximize Living chiropractor that has a huge heart and wants to help heal you well before I go to anybody in the medical profession. Well before. Fact. Because they put the power in your own hands. The body can only heal from the inside out, not from the outside in. And the whole medical body wants to give you pills. And here's the other problem. We're lazy. We have instant gratification model, and we rather put our hand out and take a pill. Oh, that'll help me. And then I can keep living a lazy life. Now, I'm not talking at you guys. I'm saying I am that. I'm a recovering food addict. My dream job was to do what Guy Fieri did. You know, Diner, Drives, and Dives? Like, that was my dream job. I want to eat good food, travel the country, and talk about it. Give me a mic. I love it. I'll just stuff my face every day and get paid for it. But now my dream job is to do what Jamie Oliver does. He does the food revolution. So once I get truth, I can't ignore it. And guys, like I said, I want to tell you this in truth and love. There's no other way. It might ruffle feathers or something, but I have to tell you. I have to tell everybody. I told people on the plane on the way here, and they didn't even ask me to. So I just want to let you know, God wouldn't let go of me. He pushed me to test the truths I had learned. I had learned these earlier. I met Dr. Mike in 2010. Before that point in my life, I never went to a chiropractor. I broke my back in high school. I don't want to go to a chiropractor. Give me a massage. That feels better. Actually, I asked him for a massage where we met. I was wrestling near Vancouver. And anyway, so he said, we don't really do that, but you actually were kind of nice. He bent a little bit for me. He kind of helped me out and helped my shoulder a little bit. But before I move on, I just want to tell you a couple standards. You guys, we've got a lot of trust, who shared his testimony earlier. We have a lot of trust in the medical system. We have a lot of trust in the popular thing. I like to say, observe the masses and do the opposite. Observe the masses and do the opposite, and you're probably well better off. Here's some standards that we're living in right now. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, that's supposed to be on our side, that came up with the food pyramid, that's total garbage. The FDA says that, and I am mad at them, by the way. The FDA says that pizza and French fries are both considered vegetable servings in every public school in America. That's not an exception. That's the standard. That's not like, oh yeah, that's one thing they messed up on. No. The USDA says that McDonald's was totally fine washing their meat in ammonia. That's poisonous, by the way. You know, and you guys probably didn't hear about this. Jamie Oliver, who's someone I look up to, he actually got McDonald's to change their hamburger recipe recently. It wasn't in mainstream media, though. Of course not. That's not even food, what they serve there. All the food exits, that stuff's not even food. What you ate tonight, was that good? That was real food. That was more nutrients. Okay, and another thing, I have some more to talk about here, but nutrition is not it. Nutrition is essential, but it's not it. If your nervous system's not functioning healthy, this is what I've learned. If you don't believe in chiropractic, I didn't either. But I can tell you this, if your spine's in the right alignment, it's like just changing the oil and rotating the tires on a car. If you don't do that, the quality of the life of the car goes down, and the time, the whole life of the car gets shorter. The spine being in the right alignment just helps the messages from the brain get to your organs more efficiently, and your body's functioning at a higher level. And you're sick less. I need to stay on track here. About 20 years ago, there was less than 5 vaccines. Now there's 32. There's 32 vaccinations, many of which have mercury in them. Mercury is in the vaccinations that you're going to pump into a little teeny human body. Get out of here with that. I'll stand up against them all day. The problem isn't the doctors, nurses, and physical therapists. The problem is the big boys above that, and the governments that control the system, and the big food corporations that they may have started out with good intentions, but the more their pockets got lined, they don't care. They're making billions of dollars, so they lobby government with millions, and they keep the system broken. And I didn't even mean to say all that, but I'm just telling you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you that the standard is wrong. Look at what's happening outside. Our government spends trillions in health care, but we get sicker every year. We are more moderately advanced, but we have more diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and cancer than ever before. This is what really breaks my heart. I don't have kids yet. I love kids, but most parents unknowingly put stuff in their grocery carts and feed their kids things that make their kids sick. We know that an apple is better than a donut, but most moms are like, oh well, the donut, they'll gain a couple pounds, they'll be a little hyper, maybe some more ADD, but that's probably it. No, that choice leads directly to more ear infections, to more headaches, to more allergies, to more ADHD. The list goes on and on. I don't even want to talk about vaccinations and some of the other sickness that's happening now with autism and all that, because it's way too close to people's hearts. But it's a broken system, and they're making too much money, and they don't care enough about you to tell you the truth. And we buy right in with the way we're too lazy sometimes. So I just wanted to tell you guys that we have to inform ourselves. We have to learn this. I'm confessing to you, I am a recovering food addict, and I relapse from time to time. Okay? I can stuff my face with pizza and ice cream like you wouldn't believe. Let me stay on track here. The other thing I found out that is totally not true. I thought when I ate my favorite foods, pizza and ice cream, that if I had a salad, and let's just say for a second I had a healthy salad, not the salad most people eat that's like the iceberg lettuce, which is basically water, croutons, cheese, and ranch. That's not even good for you. Let's say we have a kale salad or a spinach salad with real nutrients there. What if we had real nutrients with spinach salad? If I had that salad, it'll balance it out, right? It'll equal it out. No. Actually, if I ate pizza and ice cream, or if I ate a Twinkie or candy bar or whatever, something that God didn't make and I don't have an enzyme inside my body to break it down, then my cells are inflamed, and they're inflamed for 24 hours, and most people are always inflamed, always, their whole life, until they find this stuff out. I was winning national titles being inflamed. I looked good in a wrestling singlet in the uniform, but that was like taking a Ferrari and going to the gas station and putting 87 unleaded, lowest fuel, lowest octane gas into it. You know what happens to the car? It looks good. But the life of the car goes down, and the quality of life, and you kill the car slowly inside of it. And that's what most people are doing inside our bodies. We have no idea what's going on. My dad's kidneys just shut down. He's never been to a chiropractor, and now he's going. I'm making him go. You guys can save people's lives. I'm not kidding. This information is not common knowledge, and you need to tell people. Let Let me drink some water here. I probably calm down. Oh, since the early 1900s, people with alternative ways of healing started to be called quacks. Some of you are like, come to this chiropractic dinner. I'm coming to this chiropractic dinner. Why are we talking about cancer and diet and stuff? He's just going to help my back and neck, right? No, he's going to help your whole body function better. Chiropractors talking about healing cancer and stuff. They're idiots. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense because of what you know. Who writes the books that are out there? If a guy who studied to be a surgeon, what do you think he's going to suggest to you? Surgery. He's going to suggest surgery. That's what he knows. Here's one that I probably don't have to say, but I guess I do have to say it because it's my personality. Every public school, I have a sweating disorder, by the way, self-diagnosed. It comes in handy in wrestling and making weight, but not in any other facet of life, including speaking and weddings and dancing. I love to dance. I'm not very good, but let's see. Every public school teaches evolution as fact. Do you guys know that? You guys probably know that. We were taught in school. Every public school is taught evolution as a fact. I don't know where your guys' faith is at. I don't want to push mine onto you, but I'm just telling you what I believe and what I happen to know is a fact. Every public school teaches evolution as a fact. It's never been proven and never will be proven because it's a lie and it's made up, but it's taught as fact, and Christ can't be mentioned in schools because of separation of church and state. That's 180 degrees polarizing opposite lie. And that's what's taught as fact. So we have to realize like the system that we're in is very broken. And the medical model's failing. Praise God that we have it for emergencies. If your bone's sticking out of your leg, go to the hospital. Don't go to Dr. Mike's office. Outside of emergencies, holy smokes. Man, I cut my hand on a box all the way down to I cut my tendon in my hand. And he said, don't fill the scripts. They gave me Vicodin and they gave me an antibiotic. What they won't tell you is the antibiotic eats your stomach lining and Vicodin tears your tissues up. They don't tell you that. I've taken that stuff before. Guess what? I didn't fill the scripts. You know how bad my hand hurt? You know how bad when the pain medicine wore off? You know how bad my hand hurt? I texted him and I'm like, bro, I gotta get this Vicodin. My hand hurts so bad. He goes, this guy, oh man. He's like, you know what? That's God right now. He's got thousands of chemicals rebuilding your tissue right now. I'm like, gosh dang it. I can't. Okay, so I toughed it out, and it was fine the next day. So let me fast forward here in my story. How much time do I have? 5 minutes? That's bull. Okay. The Olympic trials didn't go so well. I got upset first round Olympic trials. I didn't make the Olympic team, and my 17, 18-year dream was crushed. The guy, Jake Varner, made the team. He made the team in 2011, and when my back was hurt, he made the team in 2012 when I messed up. And he actually won a bronze medal and then a gold medal. He won the Olympics, the guy I'm 4-0 against. Most people think that's a tragedy or whatever, but God's doing something, and he's allowing me to. I'd rather do this right now than win the Olympics, if that makes any sense to you. Like, changing people's lives, helping people empower themselves to be healthy, that's more important. That's more important than a gold medal. Now, honestly, let me fast forward here a little bit. I don't have time for all of this, but after Olympics, I gained 20 pounds in 2 weeks, eating what I hadn't eaten in a while. I told you I could binge, right? And I took Dr. Mike up on an offer to come up here to Canada, to beautiful Kelowna. And I came up here thinking that, on paper, I didn't make the Olympic team. I went there as a training partner. I was in London, and I didn't make the Olympic team, and I think, ever since like 2007, 2008, I was like, 2012 is going to be it for me. I've had so many surgeries, and just my body. So I should probably be in less pain every day and move on to some other strong passions I have. I'll come up to Kelowna, I'll take I don't know why he asked a 28-year-old to come live with his 6 kids, and I was like, okay, I'm in. I came up here with my Bible and with just seeking direction. And God reminded me that he wants to give us the desires of our heart if we're living for him. And one of my desires is still to be the best in the world in wrestling. And I feel like I'm wrestling just to have a bigger pedestal so maybe someone hands me a mic more often. You know, to tell people truth I know. Spiritual truth, you need Jesus. That's just a fact. And I'm not religious. I don't like how that goes. I'm getting off track again, dang it. And physical health, it's almost as lied about, and you need to use the resource you guys have here. So, first time in 18 years, God gave me a new plan. Changed my plan drastically. Did more controlled environment workouts. Got off the mat. Got off the grind a little bit, and opened my schedule up. I've got all these passions. I want wife and kids first and foremost. I thought I could spend some time maybe looking into that, and then. Still nothing there. And then television and acting. I have really some high aspirations to that, and public speaking and youth ministry. I kind of had my hands in all those things. And wouldn't you know, once I take this huge step of faith, and by the way, doctors said before I return to wrestling, I need surgery on this shoulder before I return to wrestling. They also said I need surgery on my back or I won't be able to walk. And I should probably get my knee surgically repaired too. I haven't done any of those by taking the Maximize Living 5 Essentials, by doing those and implementing those in my life, by eating healthier than I've ever eaten before. I didn't know what kale was. I make kale shakes every day now, I try to, you know, and that's awesome energy. I was gonna say, wouldn't you know, last fall I got the opportunity to not only has God allowed me to keep wrestling. I smashed everyone last year. I'm back to #1 spot in the country, okay? And that's on wrestling. But in the fall, I was able to, they were filming this movie, happened to be an Olympic wrestling movie. Channing Tatum's a star, no big deal. I got to hug him with his shirt off, so. Anyway, Steve Carell and Mark Ruffalo are also in it. It comes out in January. It's called Foxcatcher. I'm in that movie. I got to be in that movie with no accolades whatsoever, and I got more speaking engagements than ever before because I took a big step of faith and God just like laid out this plan for me, and I couldn't see down the path, but I knew the truth and I just followed the truth that I know, and it's worked out awesome. So. I want to say in conclusion, by making the changes in how I think about healing and discovering the truth, by changing my diet and nutrition drastically, and by going to a Maximize Living chiropractor that cared about me, who Dr. J found for me, never even knew him before, but he called him, somebody in Columbus, Ohio, and found him for me. I've been able to forego the knee surgery, shoulder surgery, back surgery that they said I needed to walk. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I have way more energy. I don't need naps between my workouts. I have far less pain. When you remove sugar and inflammation, my left knee feels way better. I recover way faster between workouts, and I'm back to #1 spot in the country, like I said, and I'm stumping every doctor that I come across. Doctors have told me that I need to retire ever since like 2008. I did this by not doing what they said. Most of them said I need to retire. The others said I needed surgery to attempt at another year of wrestling. I don't know what you believe, but I firmly believe that if people started following the 5 Essentials, you'd feel better, you'd be sick less or never, you'd save tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills you don't have to have, and you'd live longer. Now, obviously, God's in control, so he really is ultimately in control, but he calls us to have wisdom. He calls us to have wisdom and take action. You don't sit on the couch and pray and eat potato chips and win the Olympics. I hope no one has to twist your arm to maximize your life. I really hope that. I mean, I only ask that you take action. That you do something from here, that you share the truth with other people, that you love them enough to share the truth, that you get serious about it yourself. If you are blessed enough to be a patient of Dr. Mike's office, buy in. Buy in. It's taken me 3 years, but I'm buying in more. And I'm not there yet. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a flippin' diet. It's a lifestyle change. It starts here. Ask him questions. Use one of the best health experts in the world. Use him. He wants to do that. Do you see him almost crying up here like a pansy? Like, he loves you guys. He loves you guys. I don't even know you guys. I love you guys. Just kidding. Bring guests to stuff, especially free stuff. Bring guests to free stuff that can change their life. Pretty simple. There's a lot of people here that I guess he's letting you guys sign up for free diagnostic and x-rays for free. I don't know how that's even legal, but that's worth just like on paper like $300, but it's also worth like changing your life. People don't want to be healthy because time and money. I'll give you time and money. Time and money? Time. Well, let's see. I got to prepare more foods. I have to learn. I have to read nutrition labels. I don't have time for that. Money. Oh, I don't have money to buy organic foods. I don't have money. I don't have time to go to the farmer's market. Oh, well, if you don't have money, I mean, chemotherapy is pretty expensive these days. I don't know if you heard about that. Plus, well, shoot. I don't want to get into that, but I'm sorry if that offended anybody. I've had somebody in my family die of cancer, and it affects, I bet you everybody's family in here is affected by it. I'm just telling you this. You're going to spend money on your health on the front end or the back end. If you spend money now, and I'm talking a little bit of money, it's actually not that much more money because the foods you buy that are real foods that God made, they're more nutrient dense. You don't have to eat as much. Do you know why obesity is like rampant in America? Because the foods they're eating don't have nutrients in them, and they have to eat more to get full. You feel better, you're sick less. If you were sick less, you could focus on what you really want to focus on. But it starts with the nervous system. So go get, if it's free and it could change your life and save your life and add years to your life, oh my gosh, do it. I'm almost mad. He didn't tell me to say this, by the way. I wrote this in here. He didn't tell me to say this. He didn't tell me to say any of it, actually, because that's not the type of guy he is. He doesn't want praise or applause. He doesn't want that. And neither do I. I obviously am passionate about sharing the truth that I've found out. And I'm coming from a place of the other opposite end of the spectrum. I've done the medical thing for a long time. And there's a lot of truth in his office that you don't find anywhere else. He also knows, he didn't tell me this because he also knows I would never buy into saying some cheesy sales pitch anyways. It's not what it is. It's not what it's about. It's about heart. It's about the truth. And I don't know. I just encourage you guys, like I said, to just take action from here and just learn. You just have to learn for yourself. There's some excellent resources. And again, this guy's a health expert right here in Kelowna. I'm happy and honored and blessed to come up here to spend some time with you guys. And I'll be back by my t-shirts. I don't care about making money. I just care about the message. This is my t-shirt, Respect All Fear One. I got some cards there too. I started to represent some products that can help detoxify your life because I'm so passionate about it. So, but again, so I just thank you for your time, and sorry I went over, man.